listening to UsapLangTayo podcast. Unscripted advices, real talks, wild confession, and a whole lot more. Hosted by Fafa Grace. Eventually, you will be loved by someone just like how you love yourself. UsapLangTayo. Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. On Sundays at 9 p.m. Tara, UsapLangTayo.
You know? What's up mga friends? It's your Fafa Chris back again with another episode of UsapLangTayo.
Another one.
Akalain mo yun, episode 9 na. So, bare months na, no? Akalain mo yun, napakabilis ng panahon. Open na naman po ang registration ng SMP, no? Ano ba yung SMP? Ito ay samahan ng mga malalamig ang Pasko. Di ba, akalain mo yun, nakaraan kayo pa. Ngayon, puro share ka lang ng memes sa Facebook, di ba? Sa mga nakikinig ngayon sa episode na to, I hope all is well. Mga friend, ingatan natin ang ating sarili kasi still there is a threat outside, which is then again the COVID-19. And make sure that when you go outside, when you are going to, you know, somewhere down the road, ay, kumanta. When you're going outside of your house, make sure that you're well equipped with face mask, face shield. Gusto mo mag-PPE ka na rin, di ba? Mawalan ka na ng jowa, wag lang panlasa. Shoutouts nga pala natin sila Alex, Robin, Jeffy, Mackie at Hannah na nakikinig sa ating podcast. Thank you so much sa inyo. And of course, si Jenna na relate daw at inaabangan itong episode na to. Hello sa'yo. Shoutouts din natin si Coach Nova at ang kanyang Carrie Bakes. And kung gusto nyo ng napakasarap na mga pagkain, mga red velvet cookies, baked sushi, and all that stuff, makikita nyo yan, matitikman nyo yan sa Carrie Bakes. Search nyo lang yung Facebook niya. That's K-E-R-I as in India, Beef Boy, A-K-E-S for Sam. Okay? Carrie Bakes, alright? Nag-phonetics na ako. Papa Chris. Oh, friend, napadaan ka? May problema ako eh. Oh, ano na naman yan? Parang ang gulo ng relasyon namin. Mahal ko naman siya. Kaso ano? Kaso parang di na niya ako mahal. Teka, paano mo naman nasabi? Kasi wala na siyang oras sa akin. Wala siyang busy. Lagi siyang galit. Lagi kami nagtatalo. Sinasapat niya ako palagi. Naku! Ilan taon na ba kayong ganyan? 10 years po kaming ganito. 10 years ka niya sinasaktan, tapos ngayon ka na nagre-reklamo? Dekada na kayo eh. Langya, pambihira naman talaga oh. Yan ang sinasabi ko. May COVID na lahat-lahat, pagdating sa pag-ibig, tanga pa rin tayo. Joke lang. Huwag kang mag-alala. Akong bahala sa'yo kasi ang topic natin for today is all about why love is not enough nowadays. Diba? So, ganito yan mga friend. Okay? When we fall in love with someone, most of the time, the reason why is that you do have things in common. Okay? Or that person has something that you really admire of. Be it the way that he or she talks, or how he or she dress, or the way how or she handles himself or herself, all that stuff. Relationships are kind of tricky in a sense na they are amazing when things are going well, okay? But when something happens and you are on a rocky road, it can be painful. Kasi most of the time, if you are in a relationship for a very long time, you might get stuck in a routine. Okay, in this routine, most of the time, kills the relationship because you're not noticing your partner's behavior. Para na siyang loop. And it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. That's why it is a loop. Minsan nga, di natin napapansin na natataken for granted na tayo. Di natin napapansin na we are losing our individuality in a relationship because we are too much focused on loving him or her, di ba? Minsan kahit saktan tayo, pagsalitaan tayo ng masasakit na salita o yurakan ng pagkatao natin, nananatili pa rin tayo kasi mahal natin eh. Which is very wrong. Sapat nga lang ba na mahal natin sila? Sapat nga lang ba na mahal mo siya? No, of course not. Definitely no. Why? Well, let me give you 3 reasons why. So number 1, love does not equal compatibility. That is absolutely true. Mga friend, just because you fall in love with someone doesn't necessarily mean that they are a good partner for you to be with or in the long run. Take note, it doesn't mean that they are good in the long run. Okay? Hindi porket na-in-love kasi isang tao at na-imagine mo ng nakikinita mo siya na makakasama mo siya or magiging asawa mo siya or magiging boyfriend or girlfriend, the both of you will work to the end. Diba? Hindi ganun yun. It doesn't work that way. Love is an emotional process. Compatibility is a logical process. And the two don't bleed into one another very well. That's actually true. There's a fine line between those two, mga friend. Most of the time, kasi, we based our feelings on emotions. Or, let's say, we base our feelings and emotions to a spark. Now, what does it mean? We base our emotional feelings to that spark that easily fades away when everything doesn't seem to be working. We forget that everyone has its own individuality. We forget that everyone has its own differences. Mahal mo siya sa kung ano at sino siya, tama? Of course, yes. That's actually fun. That's actually vital. That's important. You love the person regardless of what your differences are. But the question is he or she doing the same? Diba? So that's a question. That's actually the question that I'm going to answer the latter part. But let's jump into the second reason why love is not enough. Second reason is that love does not solve your relationship problems. Let me tell you a story, mga friend. So, I had an ex who lives in the same vicinity as mine. We were both happy, contented at that specific point. Apparently, her parents doesn't like me. Mainly reason why is that I am not the ideal man for her. But, of course, yung motto namin that time, love conquers all. So, yun yung specific motto namin. Hinarap namin lahat ng problema. We supported each other. And if there's a problem, we keep on reminding each other how we are madly, deeply in love. Naks. Diba? Ganun yun eh. Most of the time, pag may problema, may away or may gulo, pinapaintindi na natin sa partner natin na or pinaparealize natin sa mga partner natin kung paano tayo nagsimula, kung ano yung mga napagdaanan na nating problema, kung ano yung mga nalampasan nating problema, and all that stuff. Just for them or just for the both of you to be reminded na we should be strong, we should be fearless. We should be strong enough for each other para malampasan yung ganong problema. So that's most of the time what we do. That one day, we're able to come up with the things like, one day we will be able to reach our goals. One day we will be able to go back to the time that it is, all rose tinted glasses. But the thing is, our love made us feel like we were overcoming our issues. Like, when on a practical level, absolutely nothing has changed. And that's actually the truth. Why? None of the problems got resolved. The fights repeated themselves. The arguments get worse. We were both self-absorbed to the point na we couldn't even communicate that effectively. It's not being healthy. Lagi nang may away, lagi nang may what do you call this? Lagi nang may sumbatan, lagi nang may exchanging ng thoughts na hindi ka aya-aya. Okay? And minsan nag-uusap kami hours and hours talking over the phone, nothing actually said. We actually tried for 3 years, but like I said, unfortunately, nothing happened. Love may make you feel better about your relationship problems, but it doesn't actually solve any of your relationship problems. And that's actually the thing that is kind of confusing. Yung pagmamahal, hindi siya nakakapagbigay ng solusyon sa problema niyo sa relasyon. Hindi pagmamahal ang sagot. Okay? Just to make it clear, hindi naging solusyon ang pagmamahal, the word pagmamahal sa kung anong away meron kayo. Takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of things, takes a lot of important factors for you to be able to maintain and sustain your relationship. Otherwise, it will not work. This is how a toxic relationship works. The roller coaster of emotions are intoxicating to the point na we fell out of love. That's actually true. Lastly, why love is not enough nowadays? It's because love is not always worth sacrificing yourself. One of the defining characteristics of loving someone is that you're able to think outside of yourself and your own needs to help, or rather your own needs to care for another person and their needs as well. But the question that doesn't get asked often enough is exactly what you are sacrificing. What is that you are sacrificing, and is it worth it? Diba? Yung mga tanong na yun, napakahirap sagutin. Kasi once you realize that it's not the same, that's the time that you will notice na everything has changed. In loving relationships, it's normal for both people to, occasionally sacrifice their own desires, their own needs, their own time for one another. Meaning to say, may mga oras na tayo nagsasakripisyo para sa kasiyahan ng ating kasintahan. Maaring, halimbawa, meron kang gustong bilhin na sabihin natin sapatos. Pero yung jowa mo ay nangangailangan ng ganitong amount. Maybe there's a medical condition or educational needs or something like that. Or may gusto rin siyang bilhin and tingin mo yun yung makakapagpasaya sa kanya. So you tend to sacrifice your needs, your wants, just for you to be able to sustain or give that person her or his desires. Kasi nga, you are thinking na it will actually give you or it will actually give her or that person a feeling na he'll be happy or she'll be happy just because you gave this to her. And that's what normally happens, diba? We are actually feeding them with materials na, well, some of you lang naman, we are actually feeding them with materials na tingin natin ay makapagpapasaya sa kanila or makapagbibigay ng or makapag-a-add rather ng pag-ibig towards us. Ang konyo. Diba? I would agree that this is normal and healthy. It's a big part of what makes a relationship so great, so special, so mysterious, in a sense na you're willing to do everything for your love. But when it comes to sacrificing one's self-respect and one's dignity or physical or ambitions and life purpose just to be with that someone, that itself is becoming a problematic. A loving relationship is supposed to be supplemented or kinda ibahin natin. Yung pag-ibig kasi, yung pagmamahal kasi, dapat hindi yan nagbibigay ng problema. In a sense na you're supposed to supplement your individual identity, not damage or replace it. What do I mean, Fafa Chris? Or what do you mean, Fafa Chris? Most of the time kasi, we are trying to be someone just for that person. Nag-iiba tayo ng ating katauhan, nag-iiba tayo ng ating pagkatao para lang dun sa taong yun. So let's say, ako, simple lang ako. Ito lang ako, mahirap lang ako. Tama lang yung sinasahod ko sa isang buwan. Nangungupahan kami and all that stuff. Sabi natin ganun. But I have met this person who's actually has a high standards. And eventually, naging kami. Ngayon, ang problema, how can I sustain it? So, sabihin na, halimbawa, itong si girl, gusto niya kumakain sa labas or mahilig siya sa shoes or sa clothes, mahilig siya sa bags and all that stuff. So, ako naman, ang thinking ko is, I wanna make her happy. How can I make her happy? I'm gonna buy those things. Yan yung sinasabi ko. We are actually trying to be someone, and that's wherein we are not that really who we are. So ako naman, gagawin ko, halimbawa, let's say, uutang ako para maibili siya ng ganun. Or, mag-OT ako ng mag-OT para maibili ko siya ng ganun. Or, lahat ng budget ko, bibigay ko lang para mabili ko siya ng ganun. Or, I would go beyond of my limits just for me to be able to give that particular thing or that particular material to that specific person. That's actually what some of you are doing, diba? They think that materials are enough to sustain, to maintain the relationships, to add up the love that that person is giving towards us. Now, the problem is we are losing our individual identity, our individuality on our relationship. Nag-iiba na tayo. Hindi na kumbaga, hindi na ikaw si Papa Chris, ikaw na si, Chris Brown. Wow. Bottom line here is that 2020 na, nagka-COVID na lahat-lahat, pero tanga ka pa rin. Diba? Yung utak natin nilagay sa taas, kasi yung utak natin nilagay sa taas kasi yan ang pinakaunang nagpa-function. Bukod sa heart. So you must use it in everything that you do. Di na uso ang puso lang, mga friend. Utak din tayo, di ba? Tama na yung tama na yung pagiging martyr sa pag-ibig. You were not born in this world just to be a giver, di ba? Hindi ka naman caregiver, di ba? I mean, sorry, I'm not using the caregiver word in a wrong way, but what I'm actually trying to say is, hindi ka naman caregiver just to give care lang sa ibang tao. You were supposed to give care and receive care. You were supposed to give love and receive love as well, di ba? Parang ano yan eh, ano yan, parang mapagmahal ka lang, kumbaga. Boss 28 _ mapagmahal lang. Diba? Alam niyo yung, yung tanong na, sinong pipiliin mo? Yung mahal mo or mahal ako? Diba? Most of the time, people would choose mahal ako. Why? Kasi they are afraid of being hurt. They're afraid of being left again for the same reason or for a different reason or for whatever reason they don't want to get hurt. They are comfortable na pag nagmamahal sila lang at wala nang iba, diba? They are comfortable that they can love them in the long run. They are comfortable na basta mahal siya ng taong yun mag-work sila, matututunan niya ding mahalin yung taong yun. But the question there is, what if hindi mo matutunang mahalin? What if you were not able to be with that person even though there's a lot of difference between the two of you? What if you were not able to give a change sa binibigay niyang pagmamahal sa'yo? What if you were not able to love the person that you mentioned that you will be able to love in the long run? Diba? Ang daming tanong. So there's a lot of factors if you're gonna choose that particular answer. Pero sige, ibahin natin. Some people, of course, would choose mahal ko. Why? Because they love the thrill of pursuing someone, make ligaw, ang arte ah. Make ligaw, or had a hardship. Kasi parang ang paniniwala ng iba mas masarap ang pinaghihirapan, kumbaga mas lalo nang tatagal, di ba? That's actually true. I am actually a fan of that. Pero the question there is that, mahal ka ba? Okay, so let's put it in a way, in a perspective na ako yung pumili ng salitang mahal ko. So may mahal ako. Okay, that's actually good. The same answer. I love the thrill of pursuing someone, make ligaw, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, the person doesn't love me yet. Okay, wala pang namumong feelings. Pero ako, mahal ko na siya. So, of course, I'm gonna do things and all that stuff to make her mine. Para mapasagot siya. Pero what if I was not able to do it? What if that person rejects me? What if it did not work? Real talk, mga friend, love is not enough nowadays to make a relationship work. Okay? It requires not only love, but dedication, commitment, trust, time, and effort. And it's hell damn difficult if you're gonna miss at least one out of those things that I've mentioned. It's hell damn difficult, mga friend. It's kinda, I understand na it's vital. I understand na it's really important na you love yourself. It's really essential actually that you love yourself. It's essential that you love someone. I understand that it's better to give than to receive. Pero mga friend, when it comes to love, better give than to receive. It doesn't apply at all. Kaya ka nga nasa relasyon para maging masaya, para mag-grow, para magbigay din ng saya sa iba. Kaya ka nga nasa relasyon kasi gusto mong magmahal at mahalin ka din, di ba? Paano may paglalaban yung relasyon kung yung taong mismo na minamahal mo hindi lumalaban para sa iyo o para sa relasyon nyo? Di ba? Nabubulol na ako pero that's what I'm actually trying to say. Nakakagigil kayo, 'di ba? Nakakagigil kayo kasi ang tatangan nyo pa rin, 'di ba? Nagiging tanga kayo, nagiging masyado kayong bulag sa pag-ibig. Nakakalimutan nyo na yung sarili nyo. 'Di ba? It takes two to tango, mga friend. It takes two to make it work. Para makalipad ng ibon, tandaan nyo, para makalipad yan, kailangan dalawa ang pakpak niyan. Hindi makakalipad yan kung yung isang pakpak ay palyado, di ba? It's a simple explanation but so deep, ha? So deep. Yeah. Bakit iba yung pag-iisip ko so deep na? Okay, wholesome po tayo dito. Wholesome. Okay? I understand it's very vital na you love that person, pero it's already 2020. Okay? Tama na yung mga eksena na mag-i-stay kayo kahit di naman kayo mahal. Or sinasaktan kayo or ini-ignore kayo or at di kayo binibigyan ng importansya just because mahal nyo. Tama na yung mga ganun, mga friend. Hindi ganun yun. It doesn't work that way. Huwag mong hayaang sakalin ka ng routine nyo to the point na you'll be so much destroyed. It is important that you love the person, pero prioritize yourself, mga pre. Napakahirap. It may sound cliche, but magkaibang important na salita at yung priority. There's a fine line between those two. Okay? Huwag mong hayaang dumating ka sa point na makakalimutan mo na yung sarili mo. Huwag mong hayaan dumating ka sa punto na iiyak ka, magwawala ka, magwawalling ka, di ba? Prioritize your happiness, mga friend. Prioritize your individuality, know your worth. Huwag na tayong tanga. Kasi ang tanga, alam mo ng tama at mali eh. Yet pinagpapatuloy mo pa rin. Kumbaga nagiging okay lang sa'yo. At least yung bobo, matuturuan pa kita, mapapayuhan pa kita. Pero ang tanga, wala nang lunas dyan, di ba? That's why I'm always telling you guys na perhaps you are saying na, Fafa Chris, lagi na lang self-worth sinasabi mo, lagi na lang value, ginaman. Kasi, ang tao, pag pinayuhan mo, most of the time, lumalabas sa kabilang tenga yun, nagiging marupok yan. It's normal. It's normal na ang puso natin ay sadyang marupok to the point na basta pag mahal ko, go lang ng go. Parang globe. Parang globe lang yun na go lang ng go, diba? Pero, we are actually forgetting na we are also special as well. Kung tingin natin special sila, kaya natin sila sobrang mahal, isipin mo rin na special ka rin, kaya kailangan mo ng pagmamahal. Huwag mong hayaan na maging one-sided yung relasyon. If it's not working, if you're not being valued on that particular relationship, by all means, I don't care. You walk away, I'll walk away. Why? Because I know my value, I know my worth, I know what to bring, di ba? Kailangan ganun ang mindset. Kasi kapag laging ganun, lagi tayong martir, matitake advantage tayo, mga bre. And that's actually hell damn true. Huwag na nating hayaan dumating sa ganung punto. As early as now, generate your happiness within yourself. Make sure na you follow the 80-20 rule, no? Kasi at least when you are ready, when you are complete, you have 80% spare to give and a 20% to save for yourself. Huwag na tayong ubos-ubos. Okay? Matuto rin tayong magtipid. In a sense na matuto rin tayong magbigay ng pagmamahal sa sarili natin. Diba? Tama na yung mga eksenang mahal kita kaya ako nag-stay. Tama na yung mga ganun. Let's end those things and let's be wiser kasi it's 2020 na. Next year, 2021 na. Diba? Malamang ganun. Yun lang naman. And, akalain mo yun. Natapos na naman natin yung usapan natin, ano? So, I hope na may napulot kang lesson sa ating usapan for this episode. Kung may kakilala ka na kaibigan na gantong-ganto din yung pinagdadaanan na masyadong martir sa pag-ibig, please recommend this episode para sila ay matauhan din, di ba? Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. That's at ULT Talks. uppercase ULT and then lowercase talks TALKS, and also sa Instagram at FafaChrissy. Mapapakinggan nyo rin ako sa Anchor, Spotify. Hit like and subscribe ka na rin sa YouTube channel ko para updated ka sa mga susunod na usapan natin. So once again, it's your Papa Chris na nagsasabing walang lunas sa tanga. So ayun lang naman, and peace out. Take care of yourselves, everyone.